Yeah, we restart again. Okay.
Okay, hi guys. Good to see you again. I haven't been here for I think 6 months. So we've got a lot of things to cover today, but I'll make it short and sweet, and hopefully we can finish by lunchtime so you can eat. And let me know though if you have any questions. We have time. We have the full day here in Taichung. Okay, all right. So we'll get started. I'll start off with Milan first, as it's most of the lighting and furniture products that you will probably be faced with more questions from your customers. So I don't know if you got to see some photos from our Milan fair. This year was our biggest fair to date. We actually rented a 17th century church in the middle of Milan, and we placed our exhibition there, which basically looks like that. And there's a 360 view website that you can go on to actually visit this place if you didn't get to go. I think only Millet came for a brief period of time. And it's amazing. Like, the interiors are completely amazing, and it allowed us to do what we wanted to do, which was the 4 elements, which was the theme: earth, air, fire, and water. So we had 4 different areas, complete with a dining room and a restaurant that was done by an Italian chef, and we served food the whole day and drinks and alcohol. So it was a really successful event for us. And we also partnered with Caesar Stone, who is an Israeli stone marble company. They designed all the kitchens and we designed all the dining rooms. So this we don't know what we're going to do next year now, because this one is already the biggest one that we've done so far. So that was the theme of the 4 elements.
你有看过他的那个网站上面吗？就是可以看到他的纪念米兰站在这个教堂面的360度实景这样，你就可以看到他们是怎么摆设的。
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Did they?
Maybe, yeah, they've seen it.
Oh, you have seen it?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was going to.
Okay.
Okay, we don't have to see it.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So we'll move first to lighting. We have first, which we consider our iconic and signature lighting of 2016, is Curve. The Curve lights come in 2 sizes. I think it's like a 45 centimeters and 32 centimeters, and it comes in a wall light as well. And what is so special about this light is that this year Tom wanted to introduce some new finish, some new colors to the range, because as you know, brass and copper has always been very big part of our range, and he wanted to move on to some new things. And his current most beloved color is called soft silver. This soft silver is actually brass. It's the same as the edge shade and the edge web, but it's then electroplated in a nickel silver, which then the silver is very different from stainless steel. It's very warm. It's kind of like the bead light, the gray bead light, and then inside it's silver. It's like the color of sterling silver. So it projects a very warm light, and this light is actually very thin. It's only 0.4 millimeters thin. So it's kind of like a 3D origami. As you can see from this photo, we basically challenge the brass to the thinnest that it can be, and then we make it like a puzzle. So as Tom likes to call it, it's like kind of almost like a skin, and plus with the laser etch through, you can actually see the light bulb when the light is turned on because it's so thin. So this soft silver, you're going to see a reoccurring theme happening in our collection. First, I think we already introduced this soft silver color in January for some accessories, and now we're moving on to lighting.
这个课的它的特色就是之前 TomDixon 灯具它表面处理比较都是红铜或黄铜，那这一次呢，他们的表面处理就是有一个新的叫 soft silver， 就是银色一个色调，它颜色比较像是 Bit Light 灰色那款里面内层的颜色，那是比较温暖的颜色。那它其实也是用黄铜片，然后呢，它去电镀这个 soft silver 这个银色的一个部分，然后表面的涂层是银的这样。那它这个是用电镀刻蚀，然后造成这个效果。它这个效果就有点像3D 的那种纸雕花，有一些3D 立体的纸雕呈现的效果。那它上面那个网洞就有点好像是喇叭的那个网格。然后其实你是可以看穿透里面，你可以看到里面的光的。
It was actually inspired by Sonos speakers, the speakers that Tom designed. Tom actually designed some speakers for a company. So
灵感来源就是确实是那个喇叭。
Yeah. So this is another form of shadow play, and then we also have a wall light, and the wall light you can adjust the lighting any way that you like.
You can just
Yeah, you can just move it up and down and left and right.
这是壁灯，那它是可以调整角度的，调整方向。目前是没有，不过就是开放客厅的，不会有。
Yeah. So obviously this light is one of those that people either love it or they hate it because it's a little bit advanced. Like some countries are not ready for soft silver.
所以这款就是它的设计比较未来感，比较不是像一般 TomDixon 的灯款，那它接受度就是2级，有人很喜欢，然后有些接受度可能还不能接受这样子的感觉的这个颜色。对对镍
Yes.
nickel.
Yeah, nickel.
Nickel.
Yeah, nickel. Yeah. But I mean, definitely, I think it's quite special one that is not as mainstream. The light, it's not as normal. As a matter of fact, we recently had a project in Hong Kong. We worked with Cartier, the jewelry, and they designed because they're launching a new men's watch. So they designed an event which is like a gentleman's apartment, and they buy all these gentlemen's gadgets and toys and arcade games, and you can play poker, and they use the curve lights in their event. The event planner said that they want something different that they cannot see in the market as much, then they used it. So this is definitely one of those things for like if you have a project that's more like contemporary or advanced and unusual, and this is one of those lights. Moving on, we have the Fade. So it's been a few months now since Milan, and Fade has confirmed to be is actually the most favorite one in our entire collection for Milan so far. It comes in 3 colors, copper, gold, and chrome. The idea of it is it's kind of like a lighting cannon. So it looks like a cannon, and the lighting effect is shining directly on the dining table. So it's got a circle. So you can see the spotlights.
OK， 这款是他们目前为止就是最受欢迎的一个灯款。那它这个特色，它的聚光，它虽然只有一个灯泡，可它聚光的话，你会在桌上真的就是有一个很大的聚光点这样子，它造成这样的效果。
So these are made in the same factory as the melt lights and the copper shades and the mirror balls. They're all made in Germany. This factory that specializes in making car parts.
Car parts, OK。他们这个的制作的工厂都是同一个，跟 Melt, Copper Shade, 然后 Mirror Ball 都是同一个工厂，在德国。然后这个公司它就是擅长于制作一些汽车零件的。
Yeah, and the reason why it's made in this factory is because this process of vacuum metallization is very largely used in all car parts, like your bumper, your dashboards are all done in a vacuum metallization.
OK， 他们之所以会给这个 工厂做，是因为这个工厂它擅长于这个技术，就是这个真空镀膜金属化的一个技术。那这个是常用在一些车子的制成的，所以他们这几个灯款都是给这间工厂做。
And you know that with a melt, the metallization, before the copper shade metallization is 100%, so it's completely, you cannot see through. With a melt, we were able to do it from 80% to 20%, so it's kind of see-through. With the fade, we've now increased that to the top being 100% full metallization to all the way the bottom being 0 metallization, hence this gradient finish.
像 copper shade 它这个金属镀膜是100%的这个一层金属，所以你看是没有办法穿透。可是到了 melt 的时候，大家可以知道它是就是有点半透明这样子的，因为它可能就是有20%到80%的一个这样子的渐层。那到了这一款 fade 的话，它是上面是100%，然后到下面可能就是部分慢渐层一直到下面是0，就是完全没有镀膜，所以造成一种渐层的效果。
And this is actually how, this is like the same idea as sunglasses. So that's how sunglasses are made, that the top is more full, more metallized, and then the bottom is. So it's pretty much the same idea.
像太阳眼镜也很流行那种，就是渐层式的那种太阳眼镜，一样的概念。
So it's quite interesting how for the fade, you see that there are multiple light bulbs inside. So this is an optical illusion because the light bulb is in fact up here, like right there. So the reason why it's got an optical illusion where it looks like the light bulbs are here is because the light is reflecting against itself inside in a circular fashion. So that's why it looks like it's got light bulbs on the below, but actually it's just up there.
它造成好像有错觉，好像有很多个灯泡，可是其实它只有一个在最顶端。然后是因为它这个反射的效果，会让你觉得好像里面放了很多颗灯泡。
So these are great lights to use, especially for dining table areas, whether in a straight line or in a cluster.
Okay.
And they're quite big. They're 50 cm tall.
Yeah.
It's like
it's 蛮长的。
It's like
它
that.
很适合
It's like
放在餐厅餐桌上面。
Yeah. The next one we have the copper shade. You guys are all familiar with the copper shade. It's actually our 10-year anniversary of the copper shade life.
Copper shade.
And for this reason, we've decided that since these last 10 years, the copper shade is still our second best-selling light to date, we should increase the range. And we've added the wide by stretching it, and then the tall by stretching it upwards.
就为了庆祝 Copper Share 已经10年了，所以他们就为这个系列呢增加了2种，像是往横的拉长跟直的拉长的这个 wide 跟 tall 这2款。
And what's good to know the difference in the copper shade from now and before is we have changed the fittings. So the fittings now, we share the same fittings as the melt lights. So it's a screw. You just screw it on, and it's got that long thing, which makes it completely stable, so you don't have the problem with it not being able to balance. Yeah.
This is for the all from like 45 cm and 25 cm. It's all like change the feeding.
They're all changed.
Okay.
Yes.
所以它现在之后 Copper Shade， 就算你不是买这种延长盘，是那个圆的45跟25的公分，它有改版了。这个新改版就是它的吸顶应该是不一样，它现在的吸顶应该是跟 Melt 的吸顶应该是一样的，是转的圆的，然后会让它比较稳固。所以新版目前我们还没有进新的来，那如果之后有新的话，我们就变成是会建一个新的品号，因为就是会是不一样的这样。
Like the mirror ball.
Mirror ball.
Yeah.
跟那个。
Yeah, it's just like that. Oh, it's the same. The mirror ball, the melt, and the copper shade are now using the same fittings. Yeah. So it's easier because now we don't have to make so many fittings. You know, each light has a new different fitting. Now we can share one fitting. So I think it's a lot more
因为大家
convenient.
可能他们可能灯具有时候吸顶盖像之类，就会有很多这个又那个搞不太清楚。那他们现在就尽量把它就是同款化，这样大家可能比较不会搞混这样。
But the only thing is, you know that we've started to change our light packaging, that it's now called one box solution. So we're moving all our lights to just being in one box. So one box has the shade and the fitting. Before it used to be separate. Now
So they don't need they won't mix up if it's all in the box.
Yeah, it's good for the customer when you deliver it, it's in one box, but maybe internally I don't know if you need to buy a spare fitting, then that's a different story.
他们现在新款的包装都变成只有一个箱子，所以之后就是不管是吸顶盖什么什么，全部它都已经包好了，就是你其实看不太到这样子，可能等它进来之后再看看吧。
And you know how it's made, same thing, vacuum metallization. You blow like a balloon, the mold, and then you put a piece of copper inside here. It goes into this machine, which basically electrify the copper, so it starts to melt, and then the copper will coat the interior of the shade, so it's basically melted copper inside.
这个制成就是这几款灯具都是一样的制法。那这个制法之前几次的教育线也有讲过，反正它就是吹塑这个 PC， 然后变成这样的形状，然后放到一个真空的一个真空室，然后它就是会把这个要涂上去的这个原料就是气化之后，会整个就是粘在这个灯具的内层 ，it's inner side.
Yeah, just the inner
在里
side.
面，对，所以它是镀在里面。
Yeah, the outside is just
Yeah,
plastic.
就是塑料。
Yeah. So you can clean the outside, you know, you can dust it, but then the inside is a little bit more fragile. Yeah. So that's copper shade. Moving on, we have some extensions. And obviously, you'll see throughout our fairs going forward, we're going to continue to add extensions to our range because we're trying to grow each collection bigger so that the customers have the flexibility of mix and matching colors and sizes, for more opportunity to use more TomDixon products in one area.
它现在的 flask 就是这是 flask smoke， 他们也是就是有一直在增长它的系列，可以让它系列有更多变化，然后让客人有更多的选择。
You'll see that we have well, I guess it's called the tall, the round, and the wide. Actually, the wide it's pretty cool. Yeah, I like the wide one because it's actually quite big, you know, it's like this big. So they're really nice for like residential, like sometimes the customers, they just want to have it over their little table of like 4, and it's not even too expensive. So Miele should consider it, you know.
Okay.
But we came out also with the oil version because oil, as you know, from January is a new finish that Tom also really likes. So just to tie in with the oil and the warp story, we've also made it in this color, which is an easy color to match for contemporary spaces with cool colors because it can match with like all the yellow, purple, blue, and green because that's the color that it takes on in the different light.
这是我们之前有的进的是原款那个 smoke 的那个 flask， 然后它现在增加了有长的然后还有这个就是宽的。那其实这个宽的这个，它还蛮推荐说有些时候在餐桌，因为它的长度其实还蛮长的，所以如果只是一个一般餐桌，搞不好挂一个，其实就可以符合那样子的场景。那这个 oil 大家上次应该就是有介绍过，这个我们有在蜡烛，就是用这样子的一个色料。那其实这个因为它的颜色可能有黄啊、紫啊、蓝啊，那其实蛮适合用在各种搭配各种那种比较现代化的家具啊，都可以搭配。
So these are all hand-blown glass, and they're made in Poland. And well, this is basically just a painting of the secret glaze they use for the oil, that when you paint it, it becomes brown, but then when you put it in the oven, it comes out and it looks like this mysterious color. Yes.
OK， 所以它这都是手工把这个色料涂上去，这样子，它在波兰制作。
Moving forward, we have Etch Mini. And you know what? I'm actually really excited about the Etch Mini, even though I know that Etch is already a very big collection and it's just, there's no signs of stopping the Etch from stopping. But we have the medium size Etch, we have the large size Etch. Now we've got a tiny mini Etch, which is 6 cm. It's like this small. Oh no, sorry, 6 inches, right?
6寸
Yeah, no.
18
Yeah. 15 centimeters.
真的还是很小。
Yeah, it's very small. It's very small. It's just a little bit bigger than the candle holder. So it's kind of like if you hang a lot, then it looks like there's, like stars in the sky.
Yeah.
So it's a really fun one, and it's a very low price point. The idea of this Etch Mini is like a gift. It comes in a gift box, and you can just give one away to a customer or your friends or whoever. This is the idea of like a retail ready product that you can put in any gifts gadget stores. We also came out with this, which is an Etch chandelier. So you've got two choices. You've got, okay, it looks really big, but it's really not very big. So these ones are the single Etch Minis, and then these ones here, this one here, and then this. These are the Etch chandeliers. They come in one box. It includes this base, and then it includes 5 Etch Mini lights, and the price is quite good for this one too, actually. I was surprised. And it comes in, for the Etch chandelier, it comes in 3 colors. It comes in the Etch brass, copper, and steel. It's kind of like a soft silver. There is a question that customers have, and that's this cable wire. Because the cable wire, when it's using a light that is so light, is like not very straight, especially because it's fabric. So over time, with gravity, it will straighten the light. But what the Japanese people do, they actually iron.
Iron?
Yeah, because they're very, their quality has to be 110%,
日本人拿来
right?
烫这样子，就是因为它线有时候就是会不整啊，可能
Yeah.
因为你灯具不对太轻，它就没有办法有重力，
Yeah.
然后变直，所以他们就拿来烫，为了品质。
可以烫，可以烫。
也是
Well,
alright.
not too hot, but just make it warm enough that it straightens. Yeah.
就再隔层一层布。
No, especially also because they have to rework, right? Like, I don't know if it's similar to you guys in Japan, because they're also 110 volts, and they have to change all of the fittings for Japanese standard.
Yeah.
So that's why they have to remove our fitting,
Okay.
and then they have to buy a new fitting that fits for Japan, and then all the Japan ones they have it is straight already.
我们
So
现在
that's
应
why.
该大部分的就是吊灯还是都是220为主，都有，就是比例大概客人家220这样超多，因为日本他们几乎都是100。
Yeah,
对
or
所以他们
steam
的
it. You
因为
can
你
steam
应该
it.
知道对，所以他们全部都要再换。
And it looks amazing in the store. Because, in Milan Fair, I was looking at it, I said, oh, it's a little bit curly, right? But then in the Japan store, it looks so good. Let me find a picture. I have to show you. Yeah, so this light, I have to say, is an underdog right now, because people are, to be honest, Etch has been around for like 8 years already. And I think people are getting a little bit tired of seeing the Etch, right? But this is, if you've got like a small space with just a few lights, it's definitely really fun. Maybe one day you guys will consider it too for your shop. But we'll move on. So you guys all know how it's made. It's made by a digital photo acid etching technique, which is basically like taking a photo and printing it like a negative in a photo. Yeah.
这个技术大家知道吗？这个就是它就像拍照一样，然后有那个底片，然后你就是放在这个铜片的黄铜片的两侧，然后你碰到它上面会去用那个光学的那个剂，就是弄在上面，然后当你碰到酸的时候，就是它就是会去侵蚀掉那个黑色的部分，然后留下 就是剩下的那个一个设计的图案，所以你到时候你的这就会变成有刻蚀效果的一个黄铜片这样子。
Yep. So you guys are probably very familiar with that by now, right? Because it's like every other product we make it with the same technique. Yeah. Okay, that's great. I like that.
Like
so,
curve, they use like
Same.
and also like the bookworm, lots of
Yep,
like
the
something.
bookworm, the cell.
Yeah.
They're all made with this
然后
technique.
书签那很有就是那种刻蚀，
Yeah,
全部都是用同种
the T
我们的那个
clippers,
对绿
they're
茶
all
武
made the
器
same
都
way.
是用同样的方式。
So it's actually pretty cool, right? If you think
Yeah.
about it, you can actually design your own product on a piece of metal. You can design something, and then you can tell this kind of similar factory, say, can you print this out for me in brass? And then they'll basically print it out, melt out the things you don't want, and then you can make something with it, and that's your design.
所以这其实还蛮有用，我们也可以自己做。
They do it for Christmas ornaments. Like, you know, sometimes you see those little angels and, you know, like the coffee filters, computer chips, and that's the way it's,
这种技术。
it's something to consider. Yeah. So that's that. Those are made in China. Yep. Then we've got Melt. So Melt was the greatest success story for us in like ever since the bead light came out. So we're really happy because for the first time we really have a light that is competing with bead light. Yes. So in order to for us to continue with the success of the story, we came out with the table version and the floor version. Right now, we've decided to come out with just the copper version to test the market, see whether people have an interest. Yeah.
他们现在先推出就是 copper 的桌灯跟立灯来试试看，就是这个市场这样。那 Melt 在我们这边也是卖得很好，那对他们来讲也是一样，就是继 Bit 出来之后的又另外一个就是销售非常强的一个产品的。
And actually, this table light is selling really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually just got a project in Singapore for a residential apartment, flats, 24 flats. So they will have mount table light and floor light for the living room.
他们其实就卖得还
Can't
不错
imagine, right?
有一些住宅的专案就直接会放在客厅，对，桌灯跟立灯这样子。这有客人有问吗？
制作 table。
对啊，就是新品还没这样。
Yeah, it's really small. It's like a statue, you know. It's like an award. So some people make fun of it. It's like it's a big head.
Only for copper.
Yeah, only in copper. For now, yeah. Seems to be the color that people,
Like.
yeah,
Yeah.
still. But it's a very simple light. The dimming, there's no dimming function. It's just an on-off button because, you know, this light is so bright that, there's like no light coming out of it, right? This is a decorative product, so it does not get very bright. So we can't make it too bright. Then there's no point to put a dimmer. So the ambiance effect of it is just like a warm glow. Yeah. Yeah, and then down here it's like a copper plated steel. Made the same way as Melt, with the metallization. Okay, these are one box solutions. So we're really trying to go retail ready, and that's why we call it retail ready. And it just is a convenience to your customers when they receive a packaging. It should be as beautiful as the product inside. So that's why we want to make new packaging that has TomDixon brand, and we're gonna put all of these like little nice packet inside. So hopefully, it just looks better as a brand impression.
他们这是用他们的新包装，然后也是比较想要让客人有一种感觉，就是直接。OK， 所以他们现在就是在每个小包装，就是装一些电线啊，然后一些小零件上面都会有印他们的品牌啊、名字啊，然后让客人有一种感觉有这种品牌的曝光，然后还会比较完整的这种零售商品的感觉。
So not all of the boxes are completely one box yet. So we're moving.
Okay.
Right now, the melt is starting to become one box solution, and then the etch. The etch by next month, all the etch, web, etch, shade will also be one box solution. And it's really so much better because sometimes the cable wire, you say, oh, after a while it looks like it's fraying, right? Like it looks like you take it out of the box, it looks like it's like very humid, right? So you put it in a bag, then it's also much more hygienic. It's cleaner, and you don't allow the humid environment to affect the product in the warehouse. So.
所以这个它现在目前会先从 melt， 就是跟etch 这两个系列开始，就会变成这个 one box 的包装。那其实它这样可能也会比较有利于我们的保存吧，就比较不会让它受潮啊，放在仓库的时候。
So that was the lighting for Milan. Moving on to furniture, there are a few pieces that we came out with, mostly extensions. We came out with offcut. So offcut has always been, it's actually from 7 years ago we had an offcut stool, and the story of the offcut is that to be environmentally friendly, we take the wayward edges of the tree bark area. Most factories will throw them away. So to recycle it, we took them and we made these chairs, these little stools. So it's kind of just a recycling project, and they come in like a little pizza box, like a DIY, and you can just make it yourself. So it's supposed to be kind of like a easy, and the price is very good kind of chair.
所以它这款的话，它比较是像以前那种 DIY 瓶装的家具的概念。北欧不是很多人就是会木这样自己在敲打自己组装，然后它这个的也是会是树木的一些残余的一些树枝啊什么的回收的这些木料，然后制成这个产品，所以它价位会相对比较低，主要也是比较环保的一个产品。
And now we've extended the range so that we include a coffee table, and we have side table, and we also have a counter height stool. So this counter height stool is around 55 centimeters tall, which it really depends. Some countries, for example, in the US, in their kitchen, they all have the counter bar area. But places, maybe some places, like for example in Asia, most of us, we use bar height. So bar height is more like 75 cm, so it's taller. So these stools are definitely for counter height. But I think in the future we are also coming out with the bar height, so you can do a mix and match. So these are just fun contemporary pieces. They don't cost too much, and they're like a solid wood. So if there's an MOQ, if you've got a project for 50 pieces or more, then we can make it into any color you want. And they're made in Europe, in Lithuania. So they use European oak. So this is a soaped oak. I actually had a customer in Singapore who bought these, like I think they bought like 24 stools. And because it's not reached the MOQ of 50, but this is soaped oak, they found somebody to sand it and they painted it all yellow. I think it was for a hotel canteen actually. Yeah. Which you can also do the same thing. Now we've upgraded the packaging, so, oh sorry, it's 65 cm, okay. The packaging is gonna come with a hammer.
TomDixon 的 hammer.
Yeah. So you can hammer it by yourself. We're more happy.
刚刚那款就是对，它就是只是这原本木头的颜色，所以他刚才讲说有人就是直接去喷嘛，全部。如果你有这个需求，可是50个，如果你可以刻定50，你就可以要做任何样的颜色。
Yeah. But we also introduced it in the fluoro. Fluoro also has no coffee table. Fluoro has side table. And then it's got the counter height stool. And then you'll see here it looks gray. This is actually a piece of steel, brush steel, to allow you to rest your legs on top of it.
现在有这个中岛的高度，然后还有这个边际。那这个是没有那种茶几 coffee table 那种，可是它也有红色的。
Yeah, so this is like a bright orange. It's our signature bright orange. that, what did I want to say? I forgot what I wanted to say. I can't remember. Okay, let's move on to the next one. And it comes in a gray, in a dark gray. Yeah. And also just the side table and the stool.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's that. And then screw is, it's not a new product, but we have upgraded the screw, which I'm really happy about. The bases now are more wide than before. So, I mean, okay, this screen is a little bit skewed, but you'll see that from the new product, if you bring it in, it'll look different from your old one because it helps the table to be more stable. As you know, screw is I think it's in Asia is our best-selling table. But if you have it here, you know that sometimes you move it, it's a little bit wobbly, you have problems turning it because maybe some customers just like to turn it a lot. So this will help to stabilize the table so it's balanced better. And we also introduced a new base. So now we have two heights. The regular one was at 57 centimeters high at its lowest for the table. We now have a side table, this one, where the height is 45 centimeters. So it goes up from 45 to 62. So it's more like definitely a side table. Whereas the other one, you can make it into a dining table or coffee table. And so the 900 millimeter top can fit onto the taller one, and then the side table you can only fit the 600 top. Yeah, because it's low. Actually, I think you can fit both, but I'm not sure if it's going to be wobbly because I think it shouldn't be.
它这款改款之后，它的底座就比较宽，所以会比较稳，就跟之前的比起来这样。然后它的高度也是有另外增加一款高度，最低就是57跟45这样子。
Yeah, we also changed the thread. This rod here is called the thread. Before, I think we used to make it in aluminium. Now we've changed it to a steel. So now it's chrome-plated steel, which means that it's more hard-wearing. You know, when you turn it too much, the aluminium starts to wear. And the steel will retain its shape so you can actually use it for longer.
它中间的这个柱，它也是材料从铝改成了这个钢，所以也比较不会磨损，比较耐用。
Yeah, so actually this table, we are finding that customers are increasingly using this table as an outdoor table. Like now, most of our projects are like for their garden or for cafes outdoor. They'll use this table with the wide chairs. Obviously, for the base, it's a sand-casted iron, right? I mean, it's painted in black. In Nagoya, we have a project where they use these outdoors. There will be some oxidation. You're going to see the iron is going to come out a little bit, but not too bad, actually. So you can use it outdoors.
所以这个 outdoor 的使用是有一些案例可以使用，那当然还是会有一些氧化的状况，可是就是状况不是很明显，还算可以接受，所以就像在韩国他们就这样的案例，所以是可以用在室外。
And then the screw tabletop is a Banswara marble from India. The marble is lacquered, so it will help if you spill drinks on it. And you can tell that it's lacquered because it's a bit shiny compared to the raw marble.
它的大也是上漆，所以表面可以看出来亮亮。
These are some images of the sand-casted iron base. These are the molds that we pour, basically pour the iron into to make the base. And then we've got scoop. So for scoop, we have introduced brass legs. So now we've got black oak, black lacquered oak, copper color, and brass color. And the reason why I say it's color is because it's literally a lacquer. It's not plated, it's not real metal, it's steel, but it's actually a car lacquer. It's the same lacquer that the car uses. And that's why you see that these legs here, they don't look like brass color. They look like they're gold color. Because when we do a lacquer, it's not real metal. It's basically a paint, right? It's like sprayed on paint. So definitely it's not as, nice as looking at real brass. But the pros of this is quite positive because it means that it will never ever oxidize because it's not metal. I mean, it's a lacquer. We originally came out with Scoop with the copper. I remember in the very beginning, I don't know if some of you guys might remember, when we first introduced Scoop with the copper legs, it was copper plated. And obviously in commercial projects with the cleaning and they pour the bleach on the floor to clean, it oxidized quite quickly. So for brass and for copper, we have changed it. Both, they are lacquer now.
OK。
And then, yeah.
Bruce Scoop 它的这个椅脚，就是它之前有红铜，然后现在就是黄铜，可是它这个不是真的金属镀上去啊，或者是一个涂料，它是一个漆的颜色，所以就像是车子会上面上的颜料一样，然后它只是一个就是黄铜的这个颜色跟红铜的颜色。那这个好处就是说它不是真的金属，所以它比较不是那么容易的氧化，它就是比较好，就是只是涂料，所以比较好去维护，所以放在一些就是用在专案里面啊，它会比较持久。这是他们的改良。
高度上是跟以前一样，高度 seat height。
seat height。
Yeah, seat height is the same. Do you guys have any customers that think that the Scoop chair is a little bit too high?
For Asian. Yes.
Yeah. Because it's supposed to be 45 centimeters is regular height, but the seat pad, plus the seat pad, it becomes, I think, like 47. Even though we write 45, but actually it's 47. Because if you sit on the chair, you'll realize it goes down a little bit when you sit in, right? So if you measure it from inside, then it's okay. But if you measure it from the front, it's 47 because your body's kind of V inside. So I have the same inquiries in Asia. They feel that this chair is a little bit higher for Asians and for Asian tables, because some tables are not 75. Some tables are a bit lower than 75. Yeah, it does happen. I have actually told the company already. Said so. This is the process, injection molding. Basically, you take liquid mold, you inject the liquid mold into this mold, and then it comes out like that. Like it hardens over time.
高压注射塑模的。
Last but not least, for Milan, we also have one more extension, which is basically the wingback ottoman. It's a long ottoman. So this is Chewbacca from Star Wars. Came to visit. Yeah. It's actually for sale if anyone's interested, but it's not part of the range because it's kind of like a limited, not limited edition, but if it's like kind of special, but it's really, really expensive,
In every exhibition, every time you bring this up.
Yeah, because it's like, how many they have.
They have different color, like brown.
No, I think it just depends on because this is sheep wool, sheep. So it just depends on what the color wool we can get, right? Do you know that it takes 14 sheep to make this chair?
14 sheep. Wow.
Yeah, so sad, right?
吃氧. Wow.
So in Milan, when we displayed it, a lot of people sit on it to take a picture, and they think it's very comfortable because when it's in winter over there, it's very warm. Obviously, in Asia, it's
It's in Europe.
gonna look like it's in dreads and braided after 1 week.
Yeah,
It's gonna look like it didn't wash its hair. You know? So yeah, but it's definitely a talking point, you know, something
yeah.
crazy, yeah, to talk about. So yeah. Okay, so yeah, long ottoman to go with wingback. Funny enough, I've got customers only buying the ottoman. Like they don't buy the sofa, but they'll just buy the ottoman. Yeah, just kind of like an additional piece to the living room, you know, if they want a bench or something. Yeah.
所以这个加长版的长凳，其实也有一些人会单买，可以用在卧房啊，就是当一些长凳可能会摆在床前或什么这样的一个搭配。
Okay, so that's Milan. Hopefully, you guys can give us some advice or insight on, you know, customers' comments if maybe they've seen it in a magazine or they're asking any questions. Let us know what they're interested in.
OK， 所以刚刚都就是今年米兰的一些介绍。如果大家有一些客人的反应啊，都可以提出来，就是给他们知道，这样可以讨论。
Moving on to September Maison and Objet, which was just a few weeks ago that Mile went to visit with Auntie. It's exciting. We have 2 new big ranges. You'll see this is the new candle range called Materialism. Well, it's basically the full range now. And then we've got like a gigantic extension for tank. And we also came out with the wingback sofa, but a wingback chair and sofa, but a micro version, so it's lower back, which we're really excited about. Yeah, and more on that later. But Asia is completely excited about this chair because we're going to be selling a lot of it.
这是今年9月才刚结束的巴黎家饰展，所以他们就是这 wingback 还蛮可爱，他们有出就是比较micro 版的 wingback 这样子。那等下他会再做解说。
Okay, first I would like to share with you materialism. Back in March when I last visited, I introduced to you materialism, oil, and quartz. That was the first 2 candle scents of the series. We are now introducing 2 more called alloy and stone, which makes the full set of materialism so far.
今年3月跟大家介绍的时候，就介绍2款 oil 跟 quartz 这2款。那现在他们就是又增加了另外2款，就是 stone 跟 alloy 这样子。
And materialism is a collection where we will continue to explore using new materials and new scents. So as we continue in the next year or 2, we're going to be introducing more scents in the materialism range and using more different materials.
那这个 materialism 的系列会一直不断的加大，那他们就会一直去开发新的原料，然后去开发新的这种香调，那就会每一年可能都会有一些新的产品介绍给大家。
And we've also updated the packaging for oil and for quartz, because before the oil was just black and the quartz was just a white box. Now we have changed it so that there are patterns for each one of them that show, kind of reflect the style of the item.
我们在这2款 oil 跟 quartz 的包装上面也有一些变化。
So we'll first just do a really quick recap on oil. We have changed the wax. As you can see, the wax used to be white color. We've now changed it to black. So black is honestly, you very rarely see black candles in the market, right? I think there's almost no black candles in the market. So Tom wanted to make a candle in black. So now he got one. The difference in this candle compared to the candle in January is the fragrance is slightly less strong. It's a little bit more mellow, which I prefer also. And really the reason why we had to do this was because if we have to change the wax to black color, the candle burning is not as stable. So we have to lower the scent in order to make the burning stable. That's why we changed it. The fragrance, which is completely fine because it still smells quite strong, I think. We have some new additions. We are coming out also with a pillar candle. So it's a block of candle, and then it's got a little base. So at this moment, we don't have any refills for the candle base, but then you'll just have a little dish that you can use as a container after it's been completely burnt off.
所以 Oil 这一款呢，他们的从1月到现在，他们的改良就是把这个蜡烛变成黑色的，是用黑色的石蜡做的。那它就是因为如果你要变黑的话，它可能必须要去降低这个精油这个香氛的一个浓度，这样才可以让它就是烧的比较稳定，比较完全。所以呢，这个味道会比1月的那一款再稍微不是那么的强烈，那比那个再温和一点这样子。那再来就是它这个有新推出了一个，就是这个蜡烛的烛台上面它是一个蜡烛柱这样子。那它这个就是蜡烛，它目前还没有补充，不过你用完的话，你就可以下面会有个烛台，你可以再去放自己的蜡烛在上面。
Here are the scent notes for oil, cypriol, guaiac wood, and styrax. So basically, it's very smoky and leathery. Do you have it in the store?
Not here.
Okay. It's basically, I think I told you guys before, it smells kind of like smoke and earth mixed together. like fire and earth, I mean.
Fire and earth.
Mixed together, that's what it smells like. It's a very wintry scent, yeah. But this is also Tom's favorite scent, and I think most of Europe also favorite scent is oil. So, this is how it's made. Basically, glass is blown into a dirty mold. Dirty mold is when they haven't cleaned out the iron mold, so it kind of looks like it's not completely polished. It's just kind of like, it looks like it's hammered. And then when it's still hot, they cut the sides to make it look like it's melting. So that's the process. Moving on, we've got quartz. Quartz, you don't have it here as well. The quartz, we didn't change anything. We just added a UV light protector in the wax. It keeps the wax from turning yellow. So after like these last few months, we've realized that over time, the wax is turning yellow, so we've upgraded it. So the new batch of products will stay white, which is great.
OK， 所以他们现在这个的改良，就是他们为了防止蜡烛变黄，所以他们就是有去增加这个 UV 的光去保护它，所以呢，就是让它不会那么容易变黄。
And we've also have an addition, the pillar candle for wax as well. Oh, I forgot to put the burn times in here.
I think last time maybe you
I did.
Yeah.
I think it's the same as the scent eclectic.
Okay.
So it's 40 hours for the medium one, 60 hours for the large one, and then the pillar candle is 70 hours.
70. Okay.
Yeah. So it's a little bit more than the large. Yeah. So 40 for medium, 60 for large, 70 for the pillar candle. And then for the diffuser, it's around 3 to 4 months. Same, and then I think the wax diffuser, the little wax diffuser is around 2 months. Like that, then you can just put in little spaces.
就是它蜡烛燃烧的时间，中型的大概40个小时，那大的60个小时。那如果是像中间这款新的，就大概70个小时。那如果是扩香的话，扩香一般就是3到4个月，可以用3到4个月。那如果是小的那个块，大概2个月使用时间。
So, as you guys know before, all our candles are made in the same place. It's poured in, the wax and the fragrance is all designed and developed in the UK, and then the vessels we just make in different places. So, for example, the glass is made in Poland, and we use the same 50% soy wax and 50% paraffin wax. The paraffin wax is to help control the burn more consistently and slowly. The new one is pillar candle. The pillar candle, we had to make it in 100% paraffin wax. So it's not 100. It's not. There's no it's not natural as the other ones are. In case some people ask, but it's because if it's only soy wax is more soft, so we cannot actually make a block of candle. So in order to make it a hard candle, we've got to use paraffin wax.
所以它就是大部分他们之前就是50%的大豆蜡跟50%的石蜡。那现在的话 ，only the
Yeah, only the no for all of the pillar candles.
OK， 因为 pillar 的话，因为它是要比较需要固定嘛，它没有一个外面有这个容器可以去包装它，所以它必须要比较硬，比较可以就是站立，所以它的是100%的这个石蜡，因为大豆蜡太软，它没有办法就是可以做成这样的形状。
These are the scent notes for quartz. You've got pink pepper, cypriol, and ambrette. I'm not sure if you actually have some customers who ask these questions. Like some people really like their candles, so they're going to ask you what is the top note, the middle, and the base. So what do you smell first compared to what do you smell last, right? So there are layers of scents. Like when you first smell it, it's going to smell a little bit flowery and peppery, but then once you're used to smelling it, then you'll start smelling like a little bit grassy and more fresh coming out from the second nose. Is like really more detailed kind of sense, but in case anybody's interested, these are the top notes. Just gives you a little bit of flowery, spicy, and then you get the leafy ones, and then you get a small woody scent to end. Yeah.
This has low battery. They're gonna
Thank you.
Yeah,
It's really
it's
nice. I mean, it really smells like fig, so it smells really nice. You'll see in this collection that we've got the medium candle, the large, and then we've got a pillar, but we don't have the diffusers. That's because marble is porous, so it's going to seep into the marble. So marble has holes, right? So if you pour something in the marble, it'll go through and it changes the marble. It's kind of like pouring pouring red wine on white marble. It will go through. So that's why we cannot make, yeah.
因为大理石它是会去吸收水分的，那里面是有孔洞，所以他们这款就只能做蜡烛，它没有办法做这个扩香，因为它会去吸收这个扩香。
And what we've done is that we've polished the outside, but it's not lacquered, it's raw. But the inside, we've lacquered it so that it will help protect the scent and any oils from going through the marble and changing the color of it. So the inside is lacquered, but the outside is not.
这个外装的部分是就是原始的大理石，那里面的话，他们有上一层漆，是为了保护，就是不要让就是这些蜡烛啊的物质就是会渗透出来这样。
这颜色的石材有特别，
哪一个？
就是
This marble?
颜色吗？
有特殊的名字。
Is the name is like forest green marble?
Yeah.
Forest green marble.
Yeah.
Is it just the name of the marble because
Yeah.
of the color?
Yeah.
因为这个颜色名字，所以它就叫做这个 forest green.
I mean, it's actually the name of the marble is
Just
forest
the
green
name.
marble.
Okay.
Yeah. So here are the scent notes for stone. So you first get the fig scent. So that's how because fig is such a popular scent in candles these days. You can see that in most of the popular design candle brands or luxury brands, everyone has a fig scent. So now we also have a fig scent. But then after that, you get a little bit of more herbal and sandalwood. So it's not completely sweet. It still has a more subtle kind of slightly woody sense. But like it says here, it's like can be compared to scent brands like Jo Malone and Diptyque. It's actually really similar.
这款香调就比较像是现在主流的一些香氛的品牌，比较商业香氛品牌他们会用的一个味道，他们就是爱用这个无花果的 fig 的味道。那可是它这款后面也有增加了木质调的，就是檀香，所以会让它味道不会太甜。
Yep. And then finally, we've got alloy. So this one is an interesting one. We had no idea what it would look like, but then after looking at the sample, I think it's actually quite cool because it's also more neutral in gender, right? So it's not too feminine, not too masculine. This one is, it's just, it's contemporary. The vessel is made of raw sand cast aluminium. So it literally looks like a block of aluminium. You just take it from the factory or something, and it hasn't been processed, so it's not smooth. It's kind of like gem. It looks kind of like gem in that way, but it's aluminium and it's not nickel
这
plated.
款就是比较中性，那它真的就像是它就是铝合金这种感觉。那它就直接像工厂你看到那种铝合金，直接就是比较没有经过什么处理，那直接就用来使用。啊，就像是玉给你的感觉，可能就是直接玉非常的天然，然后用作在其他的一些饰品上面的。
So everyone again will look a little bit different because obviously all the tool marks, any kind of texture marks from the sand casting have been left on it. We haven't polished any of it, so it's just supposed to look really raw and natural. And it's actually a little bit heavy because we had to make the aluminum a little bit thicker so that's not hot when you're burning the candle. Yeah.
这款其实重量比较重，然后它的铝合金的厚度也比较厚，所以里面当蜡烛在烧的时候，你在外面握着并不会感觉到很热。那它这个就连外面的这种刻字啊呈现都想要塑造一种不要处理太多，然后比较原始的一个感觉。
Here are the scent notes. Steelwood, Accord, Cypriol, and Amber Extreme. Actually, it looks, it looks gender neutral or maybe like a little bit like masculine, like, guys kind of thing. But the scent is very clean and light. It smells like, the clean linen detergent kind of scent, like sky kind of scent. So it's very fresh. I think for like more hot, humid countries, it really works. It's a very pleasant kind of scent.
所以这款它虽然看它的这种成分，感觉好像比较像是偏男性的一个香调，可是其实实际这香调闻起来就是非常的清澈，然后比较舒服，那比较清爽，就其实是蛮适合在我们就是一些热带比较热的国家，那是蛮舒服的味道。
And here are some images of the production process. So these are made in Poland. The vessel's made in Poland. These are the tools you'll see to make the sand cast mold. What did I want to say? Oh yeah, they're not for food. So after they finish using the container, don't use it for food.
所以这个食物不能使用在这个器皿，所以用完的话就是没有办法盛装食物。
Yeah. Great. Then we'll move on to tank. So tank's super exciting. We introduced 11 new SKUs in September for tank, so it's become a very huge range. As a matter of fact, tank is now a range where we can just have one table full of tank products now. So for example, if you wanted to have like a pop-up shop event, just like TomDixon tank collection to department stores or whatever, you can just be like one table, here you go, tank. Yeah. So,
这个系列目前就是算是他们数一数二，真的非常多种类的一个系列。那他们光是今年9月就增加10几种不同的，这蛮适合在零售的一个展示。
Yeah, and like this all happened because we started with a drinking culture of tea set and then coffee set and then, okay, maybe like a wine set, okay, some drinking glasses, and it's all about drinking, right? So we're at this, and people like that story. So we'll be like, okay, wine glasses, champagne glasses, whiskey. So we'll see what else we come up with. I don't think it's the end of tank yet. Yeah.
他们就是发展从茶、咖啡啊，然后酒啊，一直到现在就是各种饮料，他们都有
Party.
Party 啊，真的蛮适合。
Any kind of party. Yeah, so we'll start off with the whiskey and beer glass. You guys are totally going to have this because me likes to drink, right?
Yeah, this beer.
He'll get the beer. Yeah. Yeah, so now we've got the whiskey set and the beer glass. For the beer, it holds 1 pint, a little bit more than 1 pint. So it's beautiful when you pour it. It just goes to the very rim. For the whiskey decanter, it's for a standard 750 bottle, which I think is a small bottle, small whiskey bottle. Yeah. And then for the whiskey glass, in one box there are 2 glasses.
这些我们会进一些。
Oh. I think it's a good Christmas gift, right?
Yeah, should be. Yeah. 请问看它的镀膜是不是跟之前 Brew 系列一样，是比较不容易氧化？没有看 ，Is this like painted on?
It's painted. It's painted. So it won't
It's not like Brew.
It's not the same as brew
Yeah.
because brew is it's a special kind of
Yeah,
lacquer,
yeah.
whereas this is actually paint. So this won't oxidize either because it's just paint. It's a paint of different metals that make it this color. But if you use it too much and you clean it too much, then it'll start coming off because it's paint. So usually it's just it's hand wash. Yeah, but there's no oxidation whatsoever because it's just glass. So it's good. We've also now extended the tank range to more vases. So before we came out with the small stem, we had the medium, which was our best-selling vase, and then we had this like large bouquet one. Now we increased to 3 more. We've got this is the ball, the post, and then the bud. So the ball and the post are quite big. It's these two. So they're more dramatic statement pieces. You can use them in lobbies, hotel lobbies, or show flat apartments, really like huge things, right? So these ones really work. And then for you to cover all sizes, we have a little baby one here, which is the bud, which is nice for like 1 or 2 little bouquets for cafe tables. We also have tea light holders. So we've got these small little ones, and then we've got a lantern one. So if I remember correctly, I think this is 2 pieces. You put the cover on, so you can remove this. So this is more like tabletop architecture. Put something on the table for indoor and outdoor. And we also are going into cookware, desserts. So we have a cake stand. We've got a bowl, which we call an ice cream bowl, but it could be for anything that's cold. And we also have a decorative plate, kind of like a fruit bowl, as well. And it's not too big. It's basically 12. I think it's one foot, a little bit over a foot, which is 38 cm, 15 inches. So definitely a bit more like elegant in terms of the look and simple. So these are all our glasses so far. We've got our whiskey glass, we've got the low ball glass, highball glass, so water glass, beer glass, wine glass, champagne glass.
And for the plat, is this from the brew?
Yes, the trays from brew. So it's pretty cool, right? Like you can put your water jug or your decanter or your whiskey set, yeah. Yep, so all of these are all made in Poland. It's the same mouth blown with a cold cut edge, so they have this kind of like diagonal matted edge. Next we have Orbit. It's due to the success of the form bowls. Like the form bowls are doing really well, so we wanted to make more decorative pieces to help complement the home. Yeah.
所以这也是就像 form 一样，他们就有一系列的一些装饰品。
And each box comes in a set of 4 trays.
4个一组。
The silver one is real sterling silver, so it's brass. So all our soft silver items are actually brass, but then they're plated in sterling silver. So if for this brass, it's raw, so it's unlacquered. It's like the form bowl, the bash vessels. It will oxidize over time, and then you have to clean it because it's left unlacquered. But the silver is always lacquered because it's not real silver. It's brass, but plated silver, and then it's lacquered over. So if I take cleaning product and I clean it and I remove the lacquer and I remove the silver, underneath you will see it's yellow brass.
Okay.
So for the brass ones, you can keep cleaning it like you've always done. Use a metal polish if you want to. If you want it to look more vintage, you don't have to. But for the silver ones, you can only use a clean, soft, damp cloth just to wipe. But you don't need to use any cleaning agents because it will remove the lacquer and then it'll start turning color. Or maybe this year you want it to be silver and next year the same product you want it to be brass, so it'll be a new product again. So they're made in the same place as our form bowls and all of that. They're basically brass sheets that we've just cut. And then we've got the bash and form silver. So bash and form now also have silver color, made exactly the same way. It's also brass, but plated in sterling silver and lacquered over. So also just use a damp cloth for this for cleaning. But it's the color's actually really quite nice because it's very soft. It's very soft and feminine. So actually, it's working very well with like more pastel colors. Yeah, like now we've got the curve, we've got the bash like this, and then we've got the wingback chair with oak legs, and it's like the whole like TomDixon look is quite feminine and soft, so it's working quite well.
所以现在 TomDixon 他们的一个趋势，他们有加入了一些比较柔和、比较女性的色彩，就像刚刚讲 curve， 还有这些饰品，它都加入了这种比较温暖的银色色调。然后就像他们的 wingback 椅子，它也开始有一些就是 oak 的木头的木角，然后就让这个感觉会比较偏女性、温柔一点这样子，融合一点。
对，材质是可以用中性清洁剂用吗？
那个清洁剂就是你是说银的吗？
对对对。
For the silver pellet?
No, because it's not real silver. I mean, the metal is not silver, the metal is brass. So if you use it to clean, it will just remove the silver and then you can see the
所以
brass.
都还是不要，对，就是只要是你用那个湿布湿布去擦拭就可以了，因为你的那个 brass 的那个它就是真的是 brass， 所以黄的那个你可以用清洁剂去清。可是它刚刚那个有一个 silver 这个颜色，这个那你就不要，因为它这个这是黄铜上面，你再去涂上这个色，对，所以你如果用任何清洁剂清，你就会把外面那一层涂料清掉之后，你就会变得是黄色。所以这种就是用湿布去擦拭就可以了。
是银布呢，一点点的，是。
Do you know like some silvery thing accessories? Do you know that's kind of close?
Yeah.
Is it okay to clean the?
No, I don't think you can. Because it's lacquer too.
因为
Yeah.
上漆的这种，那如果你用任何，就像那个可能是银布，也是银饰，对，所以其实那都是针对金属的那种。那你这个就是有上一层漆的话，你都会有你如果有那种东西，可能都会把它磨蚀掉。所以还是就是尽量就是用清水沾布上面去清就好了。
Yeah, it's kind of like you have a gold earring and you dip it into a silver paint and then you take it out and you sell it. So after a while, when you wear it too long, if it comes off, then it starts to look gold. It's like that. So only the outer layer is silver. Yeah. So, but the silver is very light. It looks almost kind of like white color. Yeah. So anyway, it's a choice for customers, right?
Yeah,
now they can choose if their home wants to have more silver products or more gold products. And then for the bash and form, they're made the same way. They're hammered by hand, so it's really the craftsman. Every one of them is a little bit different. It depends on how the craftsman has chosen to hammer the product.
他们这都是手工去打造，所以每一个它的一些形状什么都会不太一样。
And then we've got the teapot from form. It's an extension. Now we have a mini teapot. This is due to high demand. Like a lot of customers have asked us for a smaller teapot. Yeah. So it's made the same way as all the bash and the form and the teapot. It's same spun brass and polished. And then some more images here. Obviously, you're familiar with the form. It's also left unlacquered, so it will oxidize over time. If you have a customer who's using it really for tea or for drinking, when they clean it, they should just use like a mild soap and water, clean it, and then dry it right away so it doesn't have like watermarks on it. You can use metal polish, but only on the outside and not inside. Unless you buy a metal polish that is food safe, then that's okay.
所以就是如果有一些这个清洁剂，就是金属的清洁剂，可能就是擦拭外层就好了。那里层的话，除非它是就是使用安全的，因为毕竟就会触碰到这个食物，所以可能内层的话还是不要，就是用这个沾点肥皂水啊，这样子去清理内层就好了。
Yeah. And since this is a solid brass with a bakelite candle, it was not designed to use on top of a stove, so you can't use fire on this.
所以这是不能就是直接放在炉上加热。
Yeah, so only brew you can use on top of a fire, but for form you cannot, because it'll just
咖啡
melt.
壶系列有一些课之前有讲过，那这个的话就不行。
And then here are some images of the caring for these unlacquered products. You could use Goddard's or Brasso. Brasso is very strong. Goddard's actually has a brand. This brand actually has one for like pots and pans, copper pots and pans. So that's food safe. But I don't know where you can buy it. I saw it on Amazon.com. Yeah. So, and then we've got the tea clippers. So these are really fun because they're already in a little gift box. And we decided to increase the range, so you've got more of them. We've got, basically we've got Bob and Polly. You came up with the name. This is Polly, and this is Bob.
会，因为这就是大家应该知道这是很热卖款，它现在有名字。
Yeah.
So the first one.
Yeah, the round one, because it's kind of like a polygonal shape, so it's called Polly, and then this one is Bob. I don't know why it's called Bob. Maybe they couldn't come up with a name. I have no idea why it's called Bob. So these are stainless steel. Made in China the same way as the edge and the cell. And then we've got stack. So these are giant vases, giant wooden vases. Yeah, it's big. The cone is 120 centimeters tall. So they're just oversized flower pots, basically, that is for decoration for lobbies, again, hotels, things like that. They're made with mango wood and then just lacquered over. So we've had some good successes with the beet vessel, like the big beet vessel. So we wanted to have another option for customers who wanted to just use it with different textures. It's got a nice texture of the ring. And everything is hand turned, made in India, and glued together. But if you do use it, then it's wood, and do not put any water in it. It's not for water. It's only for dried flowers. Yeah, I don't know either. I didn't even.
所以这款的话，它就是像是 Bit 的那一款花器一样，那比较适合放在就是 lobby 啊那种比较大的一个空间。那只是它这一款因为是木头的，然后它是没有防水的，所以比较不适合用在就是真花，是用在我们自己会进的一些就是花艺摆设。
And we have extensions for Cube. This Cube was, so we now have a tablet stand. So you can fit your phone, you can fit an iPad, you can fit different sizes, right? And we also have a mechanical pencil, which has to include into our range. So this is the mechanical pencil. the material of this is a copper-plated zinc alloy. So basically, it's a mixture of metals. Yeah. It's different metals mixed together, but it's copper-plated and lacquered. The mechanical pencil is a very standard one. You use a 0.5 mm lead on it. And finally, we've got the wingback micro. This is really due to high demand. You know, we've always loved our wingback chair, but understood that it was quite big for many projects to use, and we're delving more into retail, which means we're delving more into residential homes more than ever, and a lot of people have said that, oh, the wingback chair is too high, it's too big, it's harder to use, so can we come up with a smaller chair? So we did, and it's great because the height is lower by maybe about almost 28 cm, yeah, so about 2 feet. So it's comparable to the Fritz Hansen. I don't know if you carry Fritz Hansen.
No.
Oh, okay.
We know Fritz
Yeah,
Hansen,
you know the row chair?
Row chair?
Yeah, so they've got like this chair called Row, which is RO, which is like one of their most popular armchairs to date, and everyone's like, oh my God, the Row chair. So this is supposed to be very similar in size to the Row chair. Price-wise, it's also really good because it's 40% less, and it's actually similar price to the Row chair as well. Yeah, so you'll find that you have a lot of chairs, designer chairs at a certain price. This is quite competitive in price, in both size and in price. We've got a bunch of fabrics to choose from. It will also come out in leather, but I don't have the information yet. So once I have it, I'll send it to you guys. It also comes in fabric, which basically is like a stretchy velvet. So stretchy velvet is quite good in the sense that it's not actually velvet, it's wool, but they put some cotton in it. So it's quite light, the feeling.
So the stretchy velvet is from fabric?
Yeah, it's from a brand called Fabric.
Fabric.
Yeah, Febrik. Yeah, Fabric Gentle is the color. Is the fabric.
Fabric gentle.
Yeah. And then, as you know, almost 2 years ago, we changed the wingback to a more contemporary way of being made. So now the internal is a metal frame with hard foam. So the wingback micro was made the same way. It's no longer like this. Although I think for you guys, you're still carrying this one, right? The old one?
Yeah.
You're still carrying this one here.
We almost like sold it all.
Almost.
So, yeah. We will sell like new wingback.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, because the price is so much better for the new wingback. So, yeah.
所以 wingback micro 是旧的做法，
新的。
新的，更
Yeah.
新的，对。然后它
做法是跟新的
新的
一样。
Yeah.
新的，然后就是比较来，对。
Yeah, the only difference is
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
squashed.
然后价钱也是比较好。
Yeah, but you can also get like the legs come in also oak, copper, and black. Yeah.
所以像脚也选择也有3种，对，就原木的黑色还有红红。
Yeah. And that's that. Thanks, guys. Do you guys have any questions? Because I know most of these products you don't have on display yet, so it's just a kind of like a preview for now, and then maybe the next time I visit, you'll have it here, and then we can actually really look at it together and see. I wanted to show you guys something. Well, this is the most updated projects portfolio, which you guys, you can ask Jasmine for it. You can share it with anybody you like. I mean, you can share it with customers. If you need some inspiration on how products are being used in different environments, we usually send this to all our interior designers, architect firms, because it gives them an idea of how we can use this products. And I think I might have showed you in January something like this. I've updated it with some new, with some new projects that happened over the last few months. This is Alto. This is our first DRS project in Hong Kong. So it's a restaurant that opened by Dining Concepts in July. We got this project in January, and obviously we had to open it in 6 months, which was kind of difficult to do. This is the dining room, and then there's also a rooftop bar. The rooftop bar is double the size of the restaurant itself. And we are hanging 230 melt lights on the, yeah. Yeah, we can go and eat there. The food's quite good too. And then we've got the slab, the scoop chairs, slab chairs. We've got the spun champagne buckets. The fades are on there. We also used curve lights and the wingback dining chairs. And so we're really happy with this project because now we can actually display our products somewhere in Hong Kong. Yeah. This is Bronte in the UK. It's another restaurant that we did, kind of like the theme, Emily Bronte, the English writer, the author Emily Bronte. Yeah. And I think recently, or not so recently, but maybe a few months ago, you might have seen we did a co-working space. Oh, and then we opened up the LA shop. This is the LA shop. Because the LA shop is opened by Curve, who's a fashion store. So one side is fashion, one side is TomDixon, but everything is mixed and match. So really cool. Yeah. Then we've got Atrium, which is a co-working space that we did. I think this was in May, and it's very cool. It's co-working spaces are now a very big trend, right? So it's basically completely TomDixon. Tom has always wanted to do a co-working space, so this is TomDixon co-working space that you can go there and work at your choice. Yeah. Yeah, this was sometime, I think, around Milan, right after Milan, we did this project. So, and now in Hong Kong, there's a lot of co-working space also. It's quite cool. Yeah, so that's that. This is all in the USB stick for you. You've got everything. Yes.
把今天的那个 slide 还有刚刚的 PDF 档再放到公考给大家，那大家都可以把那个刚刚那个专案的可以 share 给你们的设计师啊。
Yeah, so you've got all the brand photography here that you need.
刚说那个韩国的案子有，刚说一个韩国的案子。
你是说那个卡地亚的那个吗？你说那个在卡地亚有就是男生，she's asking I think.
Oh, well, we didn't cover it because it was done by a dealer, but
你是说那个吗？就是哪一个？是那个curve，就是挂，这他刚给你们看的。哦，不是那个，是那个
screw table, screw outside.
oh, screw outside in Nagoya. Oh, it's in Japan. It's I don't know if they took a picture of the outside, but it was the Nagoya black and white color. It's this one. It's this one here. Yeah, so this is literally, oh, sorry. Yeah, it was this one. Yeah, it's just right out on the street, so they use the. Yeah, like that. Yeah. Okay, awesome. So you have everything you need. Do you guys have additional questions you want to ask?
大家有什么问题？
我想问一下，因为像刚刚他有提到说那个线会卷卷的嘛，那之前就是像我们出去出货的时候，工程部都会帮我们就是用工具去顺一下那个线，让它是比较直的，但是顺完之后那个线就比较容易会起毛球。
所以他是去刷旁边，
对对对，就为了让它是线是直的，因为有些客人会要求说他希望线
所以现在就变成我们可能建议工程部搞不好可以用烫的试试看，
用烫刀，
就是刚刚他讲的日本那样子，我不知道这样会不会去减缓那个东西，可能因为你上面你去磨损了，等于你去磨它，它一定会起毛球，所以可能会这样。所以或许不然我可以去问问看工程部，就是我们是不是试试看这个方法，看会不会比较，因为它可以带，因为我知道它有加热，它有吹风脚它没有用，应该要烫的，可能要
蒸汽式那一种。
对对对，我问他们有什么工具，可能可以改这个方式这样。
Yes, increase. Yeah, and there's also the newness brochure. We have it in here. This is the new one, but it doesn't really show everything. It's just some highlights of the September one. If you need to send, a newsletter to your customers saying TomDixon newness or whatever, or if they want to have a copy, then you can always send this off to your customers. Okay, great. All right, thanks, guys. So this is for you.
Yeah. 那我再 share 给大家刚刚那个答案。好，谢谢大家。
谢谢。
你说你上次那个问题吗？那个就我们在刚才讲到 ，yes, because they happen to got some lights, then the same light will have